Hello and welcome back to the Finish Line and Talking Points, our weekend review show, where we're going to go through the best and the worst performances of the weekend. So we may as well start with the talking point of everyone out of the Breeders' Cup, Ryan Moore. Poor Ryan doesn't seem to be getting any look whatsoever. He had 4 seconds on Battleground, Mother Earth, Circus Maximus, and Magical. Speaking from visually, I'm not talking about visually Ryan Moore, visually this lad. When he came second on Circus Maximus yesterday, he was fit to put him through a telly if he ever came through. So, Dave.
Look, I've been Ryan Moore's biggest fan for a very, very long time. But every jockey has bad few weeks, bad few months, bad season maybe. Like Ballydoyle have had loads of jockeys and they eventually went their separate ways. He gave Battleground a terrible ride. Mother Earth, maybe he needed to learn from that. He was too far back and came flying at the end. It's probably a bad ride, but the one that won got away. Battleground should have won, and Circus Maximus, whatever about Aid won the race anyway. Like, I feel bad for the horse because he 100% should have won. What he was doing trying to go up the rail is beyond me. I think Magical was beaten by a better horse on the day, but I still think she should have been ridden from the front. Seems like she's gone a bit lazy. Oh, the comments. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. When you look at Pierre Charles Boudot and how he raced.
He's not impressed.
This is grey. Is he colourblind or what? That's like getting like green and white mixed up with, I don't know, blue. But I suppose you could because of the top of the Scottish Premiership at the minute, but there we go.
Oh, and this is what we're talking about, by the way. So if anyone else...
It's great.
There's been a lot of bad rides from Ryan this year. I don't know. I don't know what to make him anyway. He definitely should have won on Battleground, and he definitely should have won on Circus Maximus. So he left 2 behind him. And I'm sure he's feeling it in his pocket because there's a lot of prize money to be won over that.
Has a very, very nice bit that's gone the wayside. Tom, your thoughts? Is he surely on the cusp now of losing it to Colin Keen or even Pierre Charles Boudot?
I think he's getting close. I heard an interview Matt Chapman did with Aidan O'Brien, and he was saying about Colin Keen riding, and and Aidan was saying, "Oh, it's great to have Colin ride for us," and it's just the way it panned out, and it is somewhat of the way it panned out. I know Wayne Lorden was injured for a little while, and Shamey was suspended for a couple of large stints of this year, but they've got plenty of jockeys at home, and Colin seems to be getting rides ahead of them now. So it looks like it's only a matter of time. The only thing is, though, that is not going to be a fun conversation. Whoever is in charge of that and has that conversation with Ger Lyons, best of luck to them. I would not fancy having that conversation.
He won't take lightly to it whatsoever.
No. He's put a lot of time and effort in. Ger wants to build his team to be like a champ. I don't think you can ever say you want to build your team to be Ballydoyle because it's the biggest private training facility and private syndicate in the world. But he wants to build a team to compete for Grade 1, for Group 1s, and to compete for a championship. He's got a jockey who is top class. So he sees that as part of his plan. It's not a game of, Ger doesn't want to sell his best horses. He doesn't want to sell his best jockey either. So that's not going to be an easy conversation. But look, Ryan Moore has been a top-class jockey for a number of years. You don't just lose that. I think you lose a bit of confidence or I don't know what it is. He just doesn't seem to be firing on all cylinders. But we've seen him do some magical things in the past. And he hasn't just lost that. I think it's some confidence issue or something, but it just doesn't seem to be going right for him at the minute.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with Dave last night about it, and I kind of compared it to Pierre Charles Boudot now, where he will see a gap before the gap appears, where Ryan Moore will see the gap when the gap is gone. It's kind of in his head now, waiting for us instead of making it happen. I think you're right. It is a confidence thing, and the amount of seconds he's finishing in Group 1s is not going to help him at all. I don't care how like laid back he kind of seems. It's going to affect him. It'll affect him all because he wants to be the best. He's riding for Ballydoyle. He's riding for Coolmore. He has the best job in the world. He's going to feel the pressure, especially on the big days where he's seen, Pierre-Charles Baudot is at the riding the winner for them now. Colin Keen is riding the winners. I got to get my finger up, but no matter how much he tries, he just keeps finding one too many or makes one split decision that costs him a race.
I went through me out of my last 20 bets. I said it to one of the lads in the group earlier. I've had 18 seconds. That's not a joke. I went through it, right? Andrew's thought I finished in second. I'm stressed out over that. So imagine how stressed Ryan Moore is about the money he's losing for coming second.
There's a couple of things I would point out as well. The whole COVID situation isn't going to help things. Like we saw Ryan used to come over a good bit as well to Ireland. He can't do that now realistically. I know he might be able to have been an elite sportsman, but anyway, they don't seem to want to do that. He's going to ride a lot of them in the UK. The two problems, the other likely jockey at the minute is Pierre-Charles Baudot. He's top class. And if you haven't seen the documentary with him that I think is on at the races, it's on for like an hour and it follows him. He looks the nicest, most down-to-earth guy you'll ever meet. Like he just is just so nice. Absolute top-class rider. Problem with him is he doesn't know any of the UK tracks. He doesn't know any of the Irish tracks. The problem with Colin Keen is, apart from Siskin and a few others, he hasn't got a lot of top-level Group 1 experience. And I think they'll look to blood him in that. I think on the second, third string Ballydoyle horses now, you'll see Colin Keen up as much as you can when he's available. I think they'll look to blood him over the next year maybe. And then we'll see what happens after that.
Speaking of 1, 2, 3s and Group 1s, Aidan O'Brien 1, 2, 3 in the Breeders' Cup Mile. Let's start with Order of Australia. How in the name of God has this thing ended up winning? He had career earnings of I think like something like $4,000.
I really don't want to talk
about and he's all of a sudden, boom, Pierre-Charles Baudot, Lasix, Group 1 winner. Tom, please explain this to me because I can't get my head around it.
Look, it is hard to explain, but we do get strange results out of the Breeders' Cup. We hadn't before. I remember years ago, Frankie riding a 2-year-old that had been well beaten in Group 2s and everything. And that went over there and won one of their 2-year-old sprints at like 25-1. We get mad results. You'd wonder, I haven't taken too much notice of how Order Australia runs in his previous races, but
not very well.
Yeah, not very well. You'd wonder, does the Lasix help him? That's the obvious thing to go to. If you go through his form, though, if you go back to earlier this season, 3rd behind Tiger Moth, 4th in the Irish Derby, 6 lengths to Santiago, and then 7th only beaten 4 lengths in the Prix de Jockey Club in France. So it wasn't horrific.
Do you know who his half-sister is?
Oh, Iridessa. Yeah. So there you go. I'm not saying we could have picked that out in a million years. No, I'm not saying
maybe the conditions and the ground and everything suit them over there. And
it's not completely mental. So
speaking of something like that, one of the lads wants to actually touch on Bob Baffert.
It's been a tough year for Bob Baffert. Do you see the interview? What an idiot.
I'm going to run a tighter shape. Looks like he runs the mafia, yeah?
I said to you yesterday, he looks like an out-and-out gangster.
Yeah, and he is an out-and-out gangster. Is it the interview?
I'm honest, I think he looks slick out now, to be honest. He looks like he's running the mafia family in the middle of New York in the 1960s.
Oh, the amount of drugs he's pumping into horses now and getting away with it, he's definitely paying off people.
His hair is so great, it looks like it's bleached that colour.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
There's a lot hanging over him, I think, at the minute. There's a big cloud hanging over him. So,
like he gets a drugged up horse. He's probably going to drug him up even more with maximum security. Speaking of maximum security, he ran.
That's worse than what I got edited out for this week.
They're in America. Who cares? Who cares? It's America, and they admit it. They're doing it. He practically admitted he was doing it. I'm going to run a tighter ship. So in other words, you had stuff floating around. In other words, Stevie Wonder could see he was saying that. Breeders' Cup Classic. Authentic was first, Improbable was second. The other, Tom's Decay, Tis the Law, and Maximum Security ran very below under par. You really like Tis the Law?
I don't. I said I didn't know much about it, but I know Tom really fancied Tis the Law for the Kentucky Derby. So
look at him pulling it off on you now.
I went in on that, but he was wicked disappointed. The winner won well as far as I was watching last night.
Do you know what put me off Tis the Law? In an interview I seen for the trainer, and he said, I wanted a wide draw, but I got stalled too. I didn't want it. He gets claustrophobic in between horses, and he doesn't run to his best ability.
I can't understand. One of the horses I was looking forward to was the filly, Swiss Skydiver. Now, she bet Authentic in the Preakness and ran like a pig in the race last night.
She stumbled coming out of the stalls though.
And then Authentic, I was like, he's not going to win. And then they ended up winning about 6 lengths.
So, this is yucky American dirt race. We might as well be talking about the trotting over in France or something. Can we talk about the Breeders' Cup turf?
Yes. Go for it then. Tanawa, absolutely weapon. Arc winner next year. Get on. She is unbelievable.
She's an aeroplane. To go that wide, turn it into the straight on a tight track, and to come from nearly last and just to take off up the straight. I thought she was very, very good. We thought that she was very good in Paris on Arc Day as well. She's proved she goes on any ground. I think a mile 4 definitely suits her, even though she's got to turn a foot for a mile 2. You look at the Arc picture for next year and you struggle. Love's form is up in the air. She's beaten nothing. And she 100% needs good ground. So that puts a massive... You couldn't touch her anti-post. And I really do fancy Tanawa. You know, there's a big change in the guard in that mile 4 older horse, I think, this year. And I'm quite keen on Tanawa for the Arc next year.
She has a lot going for her in regards ground-wise. She's at the win on, may as well be a road in America. She's at the win on soft. She's at the win on heavy. She can come from the back and any of them. She has a lot going for her. I think she's around 12-1 for the Arc, if I'm not mistaken. That's worth a chance at this. I know it's like just about a year away, but if she continues her progression, as you said, there's a change in the guard in that division. There's not much there as of now, unless something comes out of the woodwork. You'd imagine she'd go off less than half the price, even more than that. She's a huge contender. She's one horse that I'm really looking forward to seeing next year on the flat. Herself and Zoe battling out the finish in the Arc.
Look, when we were talking about it the other day, I said I was really worried for Magical. It was Magical or Tanawa were the two to be concentrating on. Her turn of foot is astonishing. And if you look through her form, she ran badly in the Oaks. And she ran badly at the Filly and Mares race at Ascot last year. They're kind of her only bad runs in her life. She needs to put that behind her this year as a 4-year-old. Her form is rock solid. She bet that Wonderful Tonight was behind her in one of the races, who's won a Grade 1. The horse that won for James Fanshawe last night, Odara, she was third to her in the last race when she bet Alpine Star. Alpine Star's form looks good now because she ran her close. So, to me, I think she'd be the anti-post bet for the Arc next year for sure.
That's an interesting question from the guy with the Union Jack flag there. It's never a given. I think she will, just based on the Aga Khan owns her. he'd love to win the Arc. He's kept older fillies like that in training before. Zarkava being the most obvious one. So I think if he's got a chance of winning the Arc, he'll want to keep her in training. Yeah. And I also think Dermot Weld has struggled for a good top level horse for a little while now. And he will be banging the drum of keeping her in training. So yeah, it's never a given, but if I had to bet on it right now, I'd say she definitely will stay in training.
I said to Kubo earlier on, it's the same kind of reasons. She is by far the best horse Dermot Well's had in a long, long time. Even the horse the Harzan that won the Derby, she's miles better than he was. So keep her in training next year. Like you said, Love's form is up in the air. She definitely needs firm ground, so probably won't go to the Arc. Look at the races that
I was waiting for.
Yes, she does, Dave. Glad you've got that one in your head now. Come on, Love.
Look at the races then that opens up for Tarnawa to win during the year. So I think they will keep her in training as a 5-year-old.
I think they might go down a decent route with her. They might go down that King George route with her, the enable route kind of thing.
I think it'd be stupid not to keep her in training.
Yeah, I think they'll campaign her fairly highly and see how they get on, because that older horse division is open. The Arc betting for next year is Love, Contrail, Mishriff, Russian Camelot, Inspoop, Rabaya, Mogul, Daring Tact, High Definition. Like that is a long, long way from the likes of Enable and horses like that. So it's wide open. She looks the star of that division so far for the older horses anyway.
Right, enough for the flat.
Yeah.
On to jumps on Saturday. This is 2020's been a mad year. I'm just going to say something here. It's a weird year when, you know what I mean, Harry, Modus and Rock and Fruity all win on the same day. That's just absolutely madness. But anyway, get it on to the Rising Star Novice Chase at Wincanton. Galore absolutely jumped the lads into oblivion. He made Grand Sancy make mistakes to try to get up next to him. 4-year-old, is he too raw to run in a Marsh Chase?
I think he's an Arkle horse, but I wouldn't be getting overly we put him up on the podcast and he was very good. But a lot of the early chases can be like that. It takes a while for some horses to get their jumping together. And he has his way ahead of the likes of Grand Sancy and Hurricane Harvey. And to be honest, the two of them are going nowhere near an Arc. So he was very good, very impressive, but it's a long way away from winning an Arc. So, again, I didn't back Shishkin for the Supreme last year. But you imagine if he's as good as he is over hurdles, over fences, he would spank the arse out of the Galore.
Yeah.
So
he's going to be a nice pace angle. At least they're going to get pace whatever he runs.
Yeah, if he runs in it, he'll probably lead. And he does jump well. He's impressive.
What do you make of it, Tom? Grand Sancy just absolutely bombed out. No excuses, really.
That is about the one race I didn't see this weekend. Most of the other ones.
We move on to the Elite, and the kind of gloss was taken off when Goshen was taken out. Only start now before you can start saying I made you back.
You did.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't.
You did. That was the start of a terrible weekend because I backed the anti-post, money gone. Didn't even get to come second.
It's not a bad thing come second sometimes.
Yeah, well.
Tom
was so oblivious.
Yeah, he's no idea what's going on.
No. I'm thinking about So Royale. I was impressed with him, to be honest.
Yeah, but if you don't go back through his career, though, he's undefeated in November. November and this time of year is So Royale territory. He'll go up against the big boys that they're all out and they're fit and ready to go. He'll get spanked by them all. Do you not agree?
I do. Yeah, he's going to come up against something in the top level, and he's going to come up stuck against them. I thought the second horse ran quite a nice race. Takani, who was actually owned by a guy I know over here before he was sold to Ferg O'Brien. And what's that?
I said another gangster, so
another gangster, yeah. But he's quite a nice horse, and I'd say there's a handicap in him. He's probably going to go up a few pounds, but there is another nice race in him somewhere, I'd say.
What did you make of Solo's run?
he's useless.
He's a cat.
Yeah, he wasn't great now.
I think there's a lot left to be desired about him. Whether his future lies over fences, he needs to even show a lot more over hurdles before he contemplate backing him in anything else.
He's with the right trainer, but by God, he's terrible.
It is so hard for those 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, Goshen may be a freak, but it is as a rule, it's very hard for them.
Yeah.
I don't even have this wrote down. Old Man Coy made his chase debut as well the weekend. He absolutely bolted up.
He's very good. Yeah.
He jumped really well.
He jumped very well.
He's a big horse as well, so I think fences is suitable. He just seemed to have great fun.
Yeah.
So going forward, Sorial probably not one to be really following in the around Christmas, February time for the big.
Once the bit of rain gets into the ground, he's on the hope.
They might go to the Christmas hurdle, will they, Captain? That might be the race.
Ground, and
I hope they do, because they get a good price on Epitaph then, maybe. Get in, yeah.
Or would you say they might even contemplate going back over fences with him? Because as far as I know, the Welsh champion hurdle was a prep run. As far as I know.
No, Darrell said afterwards, while there is a chance to win a few races like that, they're going to keep going at.
No, fair enough. Yeah. I don't want to mention this because you'll get second in it again. Potterman getting done on the line by El Presidente in the Badger Beers Silver Trophy. That was one of our races on the tipping competition where I came out the back of the telly somewhere.
I got 0.
I was out the back of the telly somewhere.
But I tell you what, I'm not overly. I was upset about that yesterday. Circus Maximus was worse, but
he texted me after.
You know what?
I called for a walk.
I feel it's so bad for Colin Keen because his horse is going to win that race, and he just hit the fence.
The biggest gift of the weekend.
He's literally had no luck whatsoever. No. And even anything Robbie Power rides, I see him on a few rides for Evan Williams today at first last. They may as well be in a different track they were that far back.
Yeah.
The biggest gift of this weekend was being able to lay sizing a midlight at even money in running before he unfortunately fell. But they kicked on miles out, and I was like, "There's no way these two are getting home."
Poor Colin Keen, and you're laying him and he's having a terrible time. You're making money on it.
That's his problem. I like money too much to feel sorry for Colin Keen. So.
He's changed a lot.
Yeah, well, he
used to be very reserved and very. He used to give out those if we give out about trainers.
Trying to win a few pounds. You don't like going to pennies either. We won't go into
that. We won't go into that. Let's not bring that up again. Took me about an hour to edit that out. Right, on to Sunday. Tom, we'll start with you. Lismullen Hurdle. Started up early, beating French Dynamite by a half a length. But Roland Pump was still there. It would have been interesting to see how that came out. But yeah, he looks. No, yeah, he's still going there. Good start to the season for him.
Yeah, our WhatsApp group went very, very quiet, lads, after this race. I actually missed this race live and didn't know that it was over because you didn't text me for about half an hour.
I was too busy stripping paint off my bloody stairs.
Yeah, ignoring the fact that the horse I put up at 16s for the World Hurdle got his season off to a good start. Look, to be honest,
you always want praise. You always want to say, "Well done, Tom. Well done."
I'm going to ask you a few questions now in a minute.
It's not because I get told, he's useless. Tom, he's not. He's only a handicapper. He's not good enough to win that race. And then lo and behold, he goes and books a grade 2 on his seasonal reappearance.
Beat French Dynamite.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like his form, he had to go and beat these. He definitely wants further. The only thing I would say is he was 2-1 favourite when we recorded that video on Wednesday. He went off 9-2. He was 5-1 in the day. Clearly wasn't well fancied. I would say he was one of Gordon's that not 100% revved. And if you look, he's never won on his seasonal reappearance. So yeah, it's not too surprising that he'll come on for the run. He definitely wants 3 miles. I thought he was quite good. I just thought he stayed on all the way. Ronald Pump, I don't know. The stick was raised on him a couple of times. It hadn't been raised on Sire Burley at that stage. And I thought that was a tired looking fall, to be honest. He just didn't get his legs high enough. He clipped the top of it and fell. I'm not convinced he would have beaten him at all. I think he tried to pull him out to go down the outside with Sire Burley. He couldn't go with him and he switched back inside. I think he was tired, that horse. Not to give up on him, though. Seasonal reappearance will forgive any of them that. But yeah, happy with the Sire Burley, and let's see where he goes next. Christmas at Leopardstown over 3 miles for a grade 1, apparently.
I would just like to know.
There we go.
About Sire Burley, right? And I'm not insinuating anybody's doing anything bad or along those lines.
I'm not editing this video. I'm telling you now, I'm not editing this video. This is live, by the way. I can't edit it.
We're live, yeah.
I can't edit this.
I'm very surprised that a horse that can't win a handicap or go anywhere close to win the handicap to get entered for Tom's Hurdle can win.
I'm just going to hide for a minute.
Can win a grade 2 today. I just was very surprised by that, to be honest.
Have you watched those runs? Have you seen those runs?
I'm not saying that about those runs. I'm just saying about today. I was very surprised he won. But I think Ronald Pump would have given him a good race if he stood up. But he didn't. He tried to jump through a fence.
He did. He went through the race.
I've already said, though, he's been off literally twice in the last 2 years. Like those 2 days at Cheltenham are his Gold Cups for the last 2 years. We know he turns up at Cheltenham. We know he performs at the festival. He won the Protons last year off a very high weight. I think he's got every opportunity now to go and prove himself to be a grade 1 horse and a stayer in the Stayers Hurdle division, which is not strong.
Yeah. Look, he's out there doing what he had to do. He's still there pitching. Interesting to see him step up now again against better caliber horses. But yeah, look, we can't knock him. He won. He done his job.
Yep.
Don't go down this road again. Well, you can't. The hellers. This boggles my mind. How is Roland McAnally getting these horses to win by half the track?
Dave, what did you put in our WhatsApp group? Don't say that.
I literally said, don't say that. And he said,
like, how? It's how?
Maybe Roland McAnally is the real deal.
That was fucking awful.
That's good. Fuck off.
That was awful. But all seriously, no, I don't know, Tom. I can't get my head around this.
He's saying that he had a bad year last year. I don't remember him. So he wants to say he had a bad year last year, right?
I bet you wish Percy was trained by him.
Maybe he's mates with other trainers. I nearly did it again, lads.
On the preview nights, you can let it all out.
Let's move on.
This is why, lads, if anybody is wondering, this is why you want to come to our preview night and why it's not recorded and why it's live. Because you can say exactly what you think. The amount of shit that we said last year that we would not be on air for if we said recorded.
Yeah, we definitely would have been sued, I'd say.
Yeah,
our guests are very honest as well.
Yeah, we had jockeys literally going down like this when we started saying stuff. Yeah, it was. Jay Mangan's a very honest woman as well. No,
she was good. Now she gave us some good tips.
Hey, Ladbrokes, we're still waiting to be paid for that bloody Easy's land joke. Dick.
James, get on it, pal. But anyway, the thing with this Ronan McAnally thing is he's saying, "Oh, I had a terrible year. We had a virus, whatever." This horse won 3 on the bounce last summer, right?
And he was going to Stewart's room in England as well.
And then it was won. And then it won in December. So I'm not having any of it. I don't know. Look, horses can improve. They can improve rapidly. Maybe he's done that. I don't know. Some performance. Like.
No, I'm not having any of it.
He was well handicapped over fences compared to his hurdle mark, but
what
was some performance.
What was the difference? Hurdle mark,
143 over hurdles and 129 over fences. So he's just stone well in. But he won like he got about 5 stone well in.
He's going to get at least a 2 stone of hike in the ratings after that now. I say the handicapper now is absolutely sick of the sight of this Rowan and McAnally lad. He's making an absolute fool of him.
He is going to go up for that. He'll go above his hurdle mark.
Yeah.
He'll be about 146, I'd say. A 17-pound rise.
Like to beat Roaring Bull by, what was it, 18 lengths? Like Roaring Bull won the big handicap chase at Leopardstown Festival. Like, you can't be doing that and not be questioned.
His problem is as well, the rest of them, so there was 18 lengths back to Roaring Bull. There was then 2.5 lengths back to Scormia. There was a length and 3/4 back then to Discordantly, 3 lengths back to Mormon, 6 lengths back to Caldine Bog, and 3/4 of a length back to Death Duty. So there wasn't massive distances in between all those. And they are exposed handicappers who he knows how good they are. Roaring Bull is right 141. Yes, there was a big weight difference, but yeah, he's going to go at least above his hurdle mark, I imagine.
And talking about the real deal, ran in a Class 5 handicap last January in AR, finished dead last, beaten about 50 lengths by the winner. And now he looks like an airplane. Oh, I don't know. Anyway.
What'd you say about it, though? Like, it was so obvious. Like, that horse who I like I watched a couple of his races. It's so obvious.
Who?
I think if you're making it that obvious, like, I think the key is, right, you shouldn't be allowed to step up in distance by more than half a mile. Well, not even that. Yeah, half a mile on over jumps in reality and 2 furlongs on the flat.
Is there not that on the flat already?
No, I think they were trying to have something like that in the UK, but you shouldn't be able to run over 7 furlongs and then run over a mile 4. How can you tell me that you thought your horse was going to perform as well over 7 furlongs as it was over a mile 4? And it's the oldest trick in the book. It's like some of these ones recently, but they go off out in front like scolded cats and they're dead after a couple of miles. Like, what's the easiest way to get beaten? Just run as fast as you can. You're going to stop at some stage.
Yeah. Something they need to look into, really. Right, moving on anyway. We'll talk about Absolutard, who was, again, disappointing in this. My analysis of him, he is not brave at his fences whatsoever. For the Bromhead horse, who usually has a chase of jumping on point, Rachel steal a couple of strides there. He kept putting in an extra stride and kind of flicking his way over. He's not brave at all. It's going to cost him races. I even put it up on Twitter. I'd be surprised if he wins any race at Cheltenham at all.
You two were having a freak attack about this and saying, like, oh, I'm sick. Dave said, oh, we're not talking about that horse anymore. He's a spoofer, right?
He is a spoofer.
He's okay. What happened on his seasonal reappearance last year?
I know he got bet in this. He got
bet in this behind Ballyosheen, right? He then went to Christmas and beat Chateau Persois over fences.
Yes.
Henry has said 1,000,000 times, this horse does not jump well enough to win a Grade 1 on good ground over 2 miles. He's not a champion chaser. He doesn't jump well enough. His trip is 2.5 miles. I'm pretty sure of that. His seasonal reappearance the year before that, he got beaten in a chase behind Dr. Mikey to a race and post rating of 129. His next start, he ran to a race and post rating of 147. He just doesn't go well fresh. Like, that should not have been too much of a surprise.
It's not. That's not a surprise at all. I'm getting on his jumping as a whole, even in last year in the Ryanair. It's the same last year. Was it the third or second last fence? Rachel seen a stride and he put in an extra stride. He's not brave. He's going to cost himself race. The engine is there. The talent is there. There's no doubting about that. He's beat Shaq and Postball in a grade 1 around Leopardstown over 2 miles on heavy ground. He bolted up in a handicap around Cheltenham. He was third in Ryanair. His jumping isn't good enough. It's too sketchy. He's not brave. He's never going to throw himself at a fence when it's needed. When it's the difference between winning and losing. It's going to cost him. It's cost him already, and it's going to cost him again. That's my point.
Cool. Absolute Tom certainly cannot win a Ryanair. He's becoming, to me, a horse that's tripless. A bit like loosen my load.
Nah, he's not tripless.
He don't know.
He's not
he don't know how to win.
He does know how to win. He just won a grade 1 last year in December. You can't say he doesn't know how to win.
I cannot
and he won at Cheltenham Festival.
I can't stand him. And you know what? Both times he's won, I've backed him both times. At Christmas, the Leopardstown, and at Cheltenham. Well, I told you a mad stat about this horse last year. He hadn't won a race when there was like more than 11 runners in the race. And the one race he won was the one against Shaq and Bourgeois. And he hasn't won a race since again when there's been less than 11 or 12 runners or something like that. So maybe he needs to be in amongst horses, and that's how he jumps better.
Well, and he win from the front.
I don't think so. He won that grade 1 last year. He just kind of outstayed him. He just needs his first run back, lads. It's the same every year with him. And happy days, like he'll be a bigger price next year now. One thing, next time out, one thing you can't knock him on though is his consistency. He's never finished out the first 3.
I'm not disputing at all. I'm not disputing his talent at all. I'm just disputing his jumping. That's going
he's
to
a careful jumper though. Like he's never fallen, he's never unseated. He's just a very careful jumper.
Yeah, I never said he did. I'm just saying it's going to cost him races because he's not going to have that big jump in him when it's needed. And it happened last year in the Ryanair, or this year in the Ryanair, should I say? If he picked that second lap,
travel though. For me, he didn't travel in that race. That was over before his jumping got into it.
He was getting so close to fences, he was only popping, and he was losing lengths away from his fence. He had to get a squeeze every time he landed. There, he's going to pop. He more than likely will pop up one of the races this year when he's not expected to. But I think if he's going to do it, it's going to be a race that needs to be run at an end-to-end gallop and him just staying on past horses, where horses are jumping slowly at the end of races on heavy ground. I agree. Heavy ground, 2-4, 2-1 around, or 2-1, and that chase he won against Shaq and Postwa is probably his ideal. But I wouldn't be going near him for any Cheltenham race.
No, but he's well found in the race. Oh, it broke up, did it?
Yeah.
Am I back? Yeah. No, he's well found in. He's well found in the market now because they know he's a grade 1 horse. That's why I've said, okay, that's fine. And like for this year's Ryanair, now I'm moving on to another horse. So I'm happy to let him go.
This is a breakthrough moment. Tom has let go of a horse.
What do you want to do for Percy?
I do. I've done the same with Percy.
Good.
Yeah. Look, Percy has one more run, but I'm on the verge of, he's gone.
So he is gone.
And I'd give him one more run. That was his seasonal reappearance. I'd forgive any horse that.
Right, we touch on one more before we go through the comments. Literally quickly. Easy work, Chase debut. Very impressive. Targets for the year?
He's very impressive. I don't know what to make target-wise because that was over 2 mile 1, so I would have thought he was a stayer. He'd be 3 mile horse. He surely won't go against Envoy Allen. I couldn't see the sense in that, but who knows? Maybe he's an Arkle horse.
Kind of gives Envoy Allen another little boost, if not that he needs one.
Tom, the horse I want to take out of that race is the horse who finished third, Jesse's horse, Port Stanley. I thought he finished very, very well. He was placed in 2 bumpers behind Abracadabras and Envoy Allen, and they thought he was a really nice horse. He then managed to take 4 runs to win a maiden hurdle, which was insanity. But he really stayed on nicely today. I think a little step up and trip to 2.5 mile will be perfect for him. And he could definitely be one for he could go and win his beginners next time, but he could be one for better handicaps maybe later in the year.
Yeah, I was quite impressed with him, to be honest. Right, on to the comments and questions. We will start. Tom Long. Bumper form falling apart, lads, or too early to say? Not looking great.
It's a little bit too early to say. Like, it is too early to say.
You could, who was Queensbrook hasn't really done much for it. Dan Skelton's horse. What's Dan Skelton's horse?
Third time lucky.
Third time lucky. Yes, he's won twice. He hasn't taken my breath away whatsoever. It looked grand performances. I think the front two will be in a different league of their own to the rest of them, if I'm honest.
Yeah, you'd have to wait for Willie's horses to come out, and then you could make a better choice on it, really.
Yeah, I think the front two will be decent enough.
Ocean Wind is one as well to keep an eye on. He's had a very good flat campaign.
Yeah, he's good horse.
Do you know Nat bought that horse?
Did he?
Yeah. Unraced Godolphin cast-off.
Oh, yeah. McAnally using the Sampro method. What? I'm not reading these really. Plutar ran well. A couple of poor jumps and clattered into the last cost in the race. Kicked very impressive when Rachel gave him a squeeze. Good run.
He's like
speaking sense.
He's like you, Tom. He backed him for the Ryanair, so he's gonna find the positives in it because he don't want them to be shite. But
no, I've got my Ryanair horse, lads.
I know. I agree with you.
What?
Yeah. What's the Ryanair?
Oh, well, he was a handicapper.
You don't want to say the Ryanair horse, yeah.
What? Oh, is it for the?
Yeah, it's for the anti-post video. You got to keep people hanging, you know.
I never said he was a handicapper. I actually like the horse.
Okay. If McAnally got a horse at Cheltenham Handicap, how much of a discretion do you think would be between the Irish and English handicap marks? Tom?
That's a really good point. And I tell you something now. They will get hammered.
Oh, they'll get at least £10.
English handicapper will add at least £10 onto their Irish mark. They will absolutely annihilate them.
They won't even get away with that.
He'd be better running them in open feckin' grading races or something, or the Real Deal in the Supreme Novice or something like that, because he's going to get absolutely annihilated by the handicapper.
Thoughts on Easyland against Tiger Roll on Friday?
I'm Tiger Roll's biggest fan. He's an unbelievable horse, but he ain't beating that horse. Even with... No, I'm not going to say it. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Even with Jonathan Pluganugaro on him, he's still not beating him. But he won't make it over the fences in the Grand National, I'm telling you.
Dave, we're going to have a bet on that, because he definitely will, I reckon.
Yeah, I have no problem, yeah. I'll probably come second or something again.
That race, lads, just to say, is a handicap, which is one bit to note. And Tiger Roll has to give Easyland £4.
Yeah.
And he's 11 to 8 Easyland. Lads, the mortgage on him.
Unless falls out. He's going to win, like, so. Oh, do you want me to do that again?
Do it again.
Yeah.
Jonathan Pluganugaro.
No wonder women love you.
Oh.
You're away with words, Dave.
Oh, brilliant.
The only thing is the ground is good at Cheltenham at the minute. If you want to see how much rain there is, but that will suit Tiger Roll. I don't think it'll hinder Easyland at all, but it will suit Tiger Roll. But yeah, I can't have it that he's going to flip the tables with him.
Were you talking to?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, I was going to say. Well, hold up. Let me go through a few more.
And that's while Andrew's looking, I'm going to reveal a bet I've got, right? So I did a throwaway bet at
another one.
No, I did this a while ago. You've seen this one. Throwaway 5-fold for Cheltenham. Which is a bit of crack. It's not going to come off, is it? But it's one of those 5-folds that you give it a shot. Ballyadam for the Supreme, 20-1. Shishkin for the Arkle, 4-1. St. Roy for the Champion Hurdle, 20-1. Easy's Land for the cross country, 2-1. Sorry Verde for the Stayers Hurdle, 14-1. Stuck a fiver on it. Returns €496,125. All of the outsiders are half the price that they were.
That's so
You never know, Tom. You might be in the money there.
I won't be in work anyway. I'll tell you if that comes off.
Ever again.
Ever. Oh, God.
We'll all move to the boy. Well, Benny confirmed to go chasing by Willie Mullen. Surely Constantine and each way bet to nothing in the Mayor's Hurdle at 10s. Yeah, you can't say anything against that. Yeah, surely. 2
bets in the Mayor's Hurdle now. Win bet and Honeysuckle and Concertista each way. I don't think any of the rest of them have any. Nikki Henderson's horse from last year that got injured. She didn't go for the
one that got put down in the weights for the handicap. What's her name?
No, she run.
Epatine, not Epatine.
Does she run in
Compion, is it?
Dan the Compion.
No. She would have ran in the Mayor's Novice. Does she run in the Midland Park colours? Marie's Diamond or something, is it?
Yeah.
She's all right now if we see her again, but we haven't seen her yet. So
Maria's Rock.
That's the one.
Just to say on that Benny DD, we'll look at the Mayor's Chase at Cheltenham, or there is the Mayor's Hurdle too. I wouldn't be lumping on Willie definitely going one way or another.
Yeah, but at the price she is now, it's worth taking the chance that if she does go chasing, she's going to be, if she wins her chase bloody race on her comeback, she's going to go be slashed into favours.
Yeah, she probably is. Oh, what's Mark saying?
What?
Oh, lads.
Gavin Sheen says he cannot wait to ride Simply the Bets in the Paddy Power Gold Cup Handicap Chase next Saturday. Get on this horse. He is a good thing if he is fit. Yeah, I think he's in there.
My Christmas money is all on that horse.
And I can't elaborate on that because last time we elaborated that, you started giving out about such a thing.
What did I start giving out about?
I said you'd be busking outside pennies and then you went off on a tangent.
Yep.
All I said he said.
No.
No. Let's.
No. We give look. Shut up.
No, take that off the screen.
So that's
no chance.
Where's your scarf gone, Andrew?
My scarf.
Yeah.
It's up there when he gets a good horse.
I'm giving it to Kubo. I don't even want it anymore.
Trader.
No chance.
Trader. Gonna buy mine after.
No, I don't. Kubo, you have 2 scarves coming to you.
It'd be better than the Celtic ones. Yeah, there's not much else there. We leave it another minute or two, see anyone else want to throw in things, but
Andrew was thinking about backing Arsenal at half time there. We're down 1-0 to Villa. It's now 3-0. He didn't back him, so he's up money.
Yes.
The young lad here is a Arsenal fan. It's endless entertainment. French Dynamite.
What did he think of French Dynamite? Caught my eye last season. Very smart. He did well to finish that close with the amount of energy he used from the front. He was tugging it most of the way around. Where do you think he'll go?
I don't know, but Mouse Morris is a shrewd trainer. He'll pull one out of left field and probably have a Cheltenham winner this year. He never goes too long without getting a Cheltenham winner. So he's
had to have 1 or 2 decent kind of horses come back to him now this year. So he's He's good. I think some.
Please delete.
Do we Somerville boy for the champion hurdler? Jesus.
I'll say the saying that
Please
Declan
delete.
Rick said, I'll eat my Mickey if he wins a champion hurdle. No chance in hell is he win the champion hurdle.
Please delete.
On a point system of 1 to 5, what
Right.
do we make Easy's land on Friday in a cross country?
What's 1 and what's 5? Is 5
6.
It's 5 a certainty.
1 being you'll have 1 point win, 5 being you'll have 5 points win.
Can I have 10 on him?
5. Can I have 5 multiplied by 5? So it's 25.
Like, go into, like, you probably. I got too excited there. Go into the race and look at who he's against. He'll lap him. He'll lap 90% of that field, 99% of that field. That 1% being Tiger.
Here's the point for you, lads. And I know Dave really doesn't fancy him for it, but I think he should be odds on. I think 11 to 8 is too big.
We were at the back of him already.
How do I not fancy him? I said
You're going to have to get some money on for me.
what?
Jonathan Pluggle.
Jonathan Blue. No.
But my angle is I'm going to have a few quid on him for the national.
So you
You
may as
have
well.
that done already.
You've got Christmas money on Simply the Bet, so you may as well just take some of that and put it on Easy's land and make more Christmas money. Make, I don't know, money for the diddly next year.
They did.
I could do with simply the Vets winning, but
I could do with something when that coming second, so.
Easy's land 20.
You know what?
Go on.
I won't back Simply the bets because if I do, he'll come second and then you'll crack up.
Yeah, don't do that. Thanks, Dave.
Do it. I want to see him busket aside pennies.
I'm in crow mode at the moment.
Easy's landed 25 to 1 for the Grand National is a big price, lads.
It'll be half the price when John Joe O'Neill is on him. Yeah. Right.
You're so harsh.
He's not bad. Baffert is.
But fair.
Right. I think we wrap it up, will we? Or do you want to keep going?
No, I actually have to have my dinner, so.
That's all I saw for the weekend, I think.
Are we doing Cheltenham Festival anti-post after this, or are we leaving it?
No, we'll do it later in the week.
He's too hungry.
There you go. Decision made.
I'm going to get hangry otherwise, and nobody needs to see that. My head is really shiny today. What is the story with that? You need to calm that
It's a
look.
new turtle wax you're
I
getting.
don't know what it
It's
is.
working well.
Been polishing that, Dave, have you?
Yeah, but I've loads of time on my hands now, Tom.
Right. On that note, we are back again Wednesday, where we will be previewing the Cheltenham Paddy Power meeting, and we will definitely be recording our Cheltenham Festival anti-post video, our first one of the season, straight after that. So they will be up on the same day. So again, thanks for watching, lads. If you haven't subscribed already, click the subscribe button and write down in the comments who was your best and worst performance of the weekend, and we will see you again on Wednesday.